You didn't think I was going to give you a full 30 seconds, did you?
Of course not.
I find it annoying when other people run that. So let's see, there's my chat. Awesome. So, hello, Brad. We're going to pretend we
Hello
weren't.
there.
We're going to pretend we weren't talking earlier.
Of course, yes. Long time no see. Long
Long
time no
time no
talk.
see. Long time no talk. But for those that don't know, Brad, the Lego guy, Brad the dad, has been around
Hey,
the Lego
everybody.
scene in Ontario forever. That's why he's so old.
Yep, I'm sure there's a lot of people going, damn, he's really old.
He's really old. This is what these Bricklink guys look like. Hey, Ryan. Where's my mouse? Oh, it's way over on the other screen. Shazam. And then T-Mog, he's trying to take my job. I told him in case there's some disturbing background audio that I might want to mute out. We might call an audible and have someone else jump on. Wouldn't be the first time.
Hello to
So,
everybody who's saying hi. I can't read the comments all that well, so I'm going to leave that totally up to Richard, and he'll look after those.
yeah, I'm fortunate. I get it up on a big 32-inch here. So, and then even when I'm squinting, then I just do this, and I put it on this screen.
Oh, beauty. Hello, Brick Maniac.
Hey, Arsenals. I'm convinced every time he drops by, he changes his name. I don't know. I'm getting old or senile or both. Now, for those that don't know, I met Brad, I don't know, what, 3, 4 years ago at one of many Lego shows. I can't remember which one because he was at all of them from one side of Toronto to the other and
That's
probably
true.
and probably 300 kilometers in between, which I used to think was incredible. And there was one other guy who used to put in that kind of kilometers. I'm pretty sure that was Lord of the Figs. And between the two of you, I saw you at both shows pretty consistently. And try to remember what the first set I bought from you was. I can't anymore, but I do remember the one I didn't buy from you that you really tried hard to get me to buy. And to this day, I still think about it because it's like I don't have it. And that's that very first, was it 1999 or 2000 Millennium Falcon set.
7190.
7190.
Yeah.
And
It
I
was in
mean,
amazing condition.
amazing condition. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I cannot complain about the condition or the price. And it's like, it's so hideous. It's still hideous. I look at it and it's so ugly.
It's
And that's,
it's the
and
most it's the most beautiful, ugliest set you will ever own. It
I
it
tell you,
really is. It's why I mocked mine, right? So
yeah. And not that any of them looked great, like the X-Wings or the TIE Fighters of that era, although I guess the X-Wings probably look best.
X
I
Wing looked
mean,
great. Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
they did a nice job on it with the bricks at the time. They really did.
the TIE Fighters, though, with the blue on them, and just made you cry. Like, why? Why would you do this, Lego? Did you have such a surplus of blue elements you had to ruin the Star Wars with it? But
Leftover from space. What are you gonna do?
yeah, I tell you though, love the sets though. I really did. But that Falcon still eludes me. I still gotta do something about that.
That acquisition of the Star Wars license in 1999 was one of the things. One of the one of the things that Lego did that stopped them from going bankrupt. They've been almost bankrupt three times, and during this version of their bankruptcy, what stopped them was acquiring that Star Wars license in '99, and that saved them from bankruptcy.
I tell you, 1999 was my dark ages, of course. 30, 35 years of it. But so I was totally unaware, and it's like, oh look, there's Lego toys, there's Star Wars toys, and didn't think nothing of it because I wasn't collecting them at the time, and it wasn't until around 2012 when one of my buddies, who knew I was a big Star Wars fan, lots of Star Wars collectibles and stuff, and so he got me the Tie Fighter from that wave that year.
Right.
I built it. I loved it. I thought it was a great build. Looked great. Loved the figures. Just loved everything about it.
Mhm.
And to this day, my family, especially my wife, curses him for buying me that present. Can't remember if it was Christmas or my birthday because they're only a month apart. Doesn't really
Right.
matter. And I didn't build it right away. I sat on it for a couple of months, but I tell you, it took me less than 3 months to get probably a dozen, no, not a dozen, yeah, maybe a dozen Star Wars sets related to the TIE Fighter. Of course, I bought the matching X-Wing almost immediately,
Of
maybe
course, you
within
have
a
to.
month.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's like, well, I got these two, let's get some more. Because that's when I started doing my research and discovered Bricklink. Not, I was smart enough to avoid eBay, so I wasn't going to get scalped, but I tell you, the dark road I went down because I'm just going to buy them all. And
Right.
then I learned about brick linking and building subsets maybe from parts and the ups and downs of doing that, which were fun. But I remember my very first mistake was I was trying to bricklink the one of the Vader sets, one of the Vader ties, and I was so smart. I planned it all out and I figured out which stores I was going to buy it from, and I forgot to submit one tab of elements. And as I got all my parts in, I started building it. It's like, how come I can't finish this stupid set? And I go back to, fire up my web browser. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of elements, maybe 30 I didn't order. I tell you, the stuff we learn through our mistakes.
I,
Incredible.
I discovered Bricklink by accident.
Oh,
I was just, I wasn't seriously selling or doing anything along those lines. I was just buying some things, trying to put them together because they're incomplete and I don't like it. And I just got on the net one day and just did a search for, buy Lego parts. And of course, Lego comes up and there was a bunch of links afterwards. And I just started clicking on a few of them. And one of them I happened to click on was Bricklink and just started doing more research into all the ones that I clicked through. And lo and behold, Bricklink. And there you go, ran into a whole nother world and a whole lot of money going out of my pocket.
so that's when you discovered it. When did you decide you wanted to do it? Like,
Well,
to go deep
like
into it?
yeah, like you, I was it was a different era, right? So we weren't as involved in this throughout our lives. So you have it once and then you sort of get away with it and then you come back in and the kids were a real driving force with this. It's one of the reasons why I started buying some stuff was to see if they were interested in it or not. And so just the local buy and sells, just buying a couple things, a whole bunch of different things just to see what the kids would like. And what they didn't like, you're like, okay, well, you know what? They don't like this. Well, let's just sell it. So made a couple of bucks. Um, First thing I ever sold was, gosh, I got to think now. It was a city fire set. Don't remember which one. It might have been the little fire truck with the boat on the back.
Okay.
Can't remember. Can't remember the set number. And kids weren't interested in it for whatever reason at that time. That changed, of course, got into that a little bit more, but at that time, so we didn't need it. So I sold that, made, I don't know, I think $5, right? I think is what it was. Or I was only looking to get what I had back, or I made it even, or something along those lines. It was negligible, whatever it was. And a bell just sort of went ding. And I went, well, I wonder. So I started more. And at about that time, that's when the trade shows came in. My dad always went to trade shows because he's a model car builder. He builds 124 scale plastic model cars. Has done that his whole life. He's entered competitions. He has trophies at home. It's just it's pretty amazing what he can do. So he was a builder. I got my love of building from him. His medium is plastic models. Mine is Lego. And so anyway, he goes to these trade shows to buy these old model kits. So I'd go with him, right? And I'd see a whole bunch of stuff here. And, there was I don't know, someone had a couple of Lego kits or something. There wasn't a real Lego guy, a Lego person there with all Lego, but there was some boost that had some. So through him, I got introduced to Ian and Jackie, the people who run the Woodstock show,
Okay.
and fantastic individuals, great people, good people. Um, and so, yeah, so I got introduced to them and, just got yapping and talking. And again, one thing led to another. And that was my very first real experience at mass selling of Lego.
Okay.
I had one 8-foot table. 4 feet of the table had my classic space on it, and the other 4 feet of the table had all used sets. I don't even think I had one new set. I got a picture somewhere buried. All little used sets. I had a 32 by 32, I think, green plate with some space minifigures on it. And yeah, the other half was just filled with some used sets, and that was it. That was my first sell.
Now, given you said you had some classic space on there, do you regret selling those?
They were there more for display, actually, to bring people in. I don't think I
Okay.
ever did sell one set of those.
Really?
Yeah,
Would Woodstock be the same show as Lancaster? Am I confusing them?
that's two different shows. They're
Two
run by
different
the same
shows.
people, though.
Same people, right?
Run
Yeah.
by the same people, yeah. They have a whole circuit they do. They do Woodstock and Ancaster, London, and Kitchener at
So which
Binghamton's.
one is the one where there was two buildings and the second one had mostly the train people?
That's
Would that be
Ancaster.
okay? Ancaster, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love them all because even if I wasn't buying much, I mean, it's such a great day out. The weather usually was favorable, and it was just
Mhm.
nice, especially for coming from Toronto. So
Yeah.
it's a nice drive. It's worth the trip for sure. I'm sure there's a commercial that says that somewhere.
It's worth the drive to Acton.
Yeah, there you go. See, I'm mixing up my places, but yeah,
Old Hide House.
we're showing some age here.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that. But honestly, I tell you, that's what I miss most right now is doing those shows and visiting, and whether it's out your way or going all the way out to probably Ajax was the farthest I would reasonably drive to. I did a few others, Ottawa once or twice, but it's like it wasn't worth it to go to Ottawa. Ajax, yeah, especially hey, the entry $5, great
Right,
show,
right.
you can't beat it, good food all around. But yeah, I
Yeah,
think
the trade shows were fantastic. Just a general toy show as well as Lego only specific shows. Just a incredible place to meet people, to
yeah,
talk to people, to talk what you love, to hear other people's perspectives, to like just the whole interaction with individuals. And that's been sadly that's been taken away. We don't need to get into the reasons why, but
yeah.
that's where I thrive and what I love the most is that um, just the you're talking to like-minded people who love what you love.
Oh yeah,
And
even before the big C, just it's so much better than Facebook. I mean, to be face to
yes,
face and make those deals and talk and get
hmm
those connections. I mean, I still talk with so many people from those shows, just from the business cards that we would collect.
yeah,
Um, I tell you, even business cards. What a dying fad that is. So many people don't
it
even have
is.
those anymore.
Yeah,
And it's like I love collecting business cards. I would always ask for a guy's business card at a show, no matter how big or small. And even the smallest guys usually always had something because they wanted to grow. They wanted to be that
right.
entity that could get bigger. And that's a small step. And for $20, you can get yourself that deck of 500 business cards made professionally, and
Right.
you're off to the races. You're now starting a whole new life. I
There
loved
was
it.
one gentleman who came to those shows all the time. He was probably, excuse me,
Oh, here
uh,
we go.
late.
My dog. Why do I not have a mouse? Hey, Brad.
Hello, my dog. So one gentleman that would come to the shows, he was probably late 50s, maybe early 60s. Um, he collected die-cast cars, but we used to sit and talk for, I don't know, at least 20 minutes to a half hour at a crack. Right, he'd politely move to the side if anybody came up, and then he'd come back, and we would just talk about everything. Like, he's I met a new friend, and that's some of the things that you can. That's what made these shows special. Of course, you're there to try and sell some things and to make a living, but if I went to one of these shows, honestly, and I didn't sell anything, wouldn't bother me.
Yeah.
Like
I, I
I just They're
I, f-
incredible. Like,
I'd
really.
feel, I did feel guilty sometimes, not just with you, but with anyone. If I monopolize too much of your time, because we could go off on any tangent and entertain each other, bricks or otherwise, for a long time, and it's like, well, it's like people would be coming around because like you had all this great stuff, so it's like I'm talking and talking, and usually I either have my friends in tow or my wife or daughter in tow, and it's like, and sometimes they would give me the hint, like, Rick, he's got to make some money. You got to give him a little room, you know. Um, but yeah, I tell you, yeah, I'm so looking forward to it all coming back. I
Certainly
mean,
hope so.
when you had the yard sale, I tell you, what a great experience, and the people I met, in your neighborhood, and the people who visited and stuff, like, they loved it.
Yes.
They, those who bought, those who didn't, they just loved the fact that, man, we're being human again, and we're talking, and we all got this common thing we like, and everyone was smiling. It's so long, in
We'll definitely be
between.
doing that again. Were you there when the other vendors were there, or was it just me?
Uh, okay, so the last one I went to was the Brad and
All of
Brad show. You and
Okay.
yeah,
So that was the spring. So I had a couple of other vendors there. I think that worked out really well. I had one in the fall with just, excuse me, Blocks was there. That was the other vendor that was there.
okay, so yeah, that
She
I didn't go to.
she's the
Yeah,
one who does the box art with the Lego inside. It's
yeah,
just it's incredible. You have to see it. Anyway, yes, those are like little tiny mini shows, right?
yeah.
For those who don't know, what was supposed to happen in 2020 was the Little Brick Show. That was a trade show that I was doing. It was a Lego only show. I had around 30 tables of vendors booked, and we had, was it eight or, I had eight booked and another two to fill of just mocks that were going to be there. This was going to be held at Binghamton and Kitchener. It was all set up. Everything was done. And then, of course, they shut the world down. But I'm still hoping to do that when those trade shows come back. Now, whether or not that's indoors or if it's going to be outdoors, I don't know. But I've always wanted. There's nothing in this area. I'm more south and west of Ontario as opposed to Toronto North, and there is nothing here. To fill that void, I wanted to run this show, right? A nice small Lego only show, and then just exponentially try to make growth year after year after year.
I tell you, if you do it in the late spring, early summer, you're going to corner the market because you'll have no competition, and people will be dying for something to go see. Like I said, it'll be worth the drive. I mean, we want to do it.
Well, I'm a fan first, right? I always have been. I started this up with fans in mind. Oh, hey guys, how you doing? Right? So I hope so too. Right? We can't wait till we get those things up and moving. Um, Lost my train.
So, do you know Amanda here?
Yes, they are a frequent customer. They're fantastic people. They've been a couple of times to the house, so love them both, and glad to have met them and to know them now.
Hey,
I
hi,
love them.
Amanda.
I've always said from the beginning that this is more than just a buy and sell. It's right on the page. It's right on the website. Like, this is a family, right? There's a Brad the Lego guy family, for a better term. Um, my commitment has always been not to treat you like family, right? So I don't I don't misrepresent product. I don't lie. If something's wrong, I tell you. If I don't try and just make a buck,
Yeah. Hey,
right? And I
Jonathan.
don't think there's enough people who do that.
Jonathan Hudson
Hey, Jonathan.
from he's hanging out on Facebook tonight.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we got everyone going. We got Twitch, we got Facebook, we got YouTube.
Oh my
If
goodness.
someone shows up on Twitch, I'll die of a heart attack. But it's a video game. It's a video game platform. It costs me nothing to triple
Right.
stream.
I could go get my Xbox controller. We could just
Yeah,
pretend.
we could just pretend. So Ryan's saying, I wish we had shows like that in Manitoba. Sadly, we don't. Well, Ryan, you could start that,
Yeah.
Guess we'll have to make a road trip. Oh, I tell you.
You have a place
So,
to stay. You can stay in my place anytime, Ryan.
I look forward to doing a show again myself. Only did the one, but it was fun. Hey, John, love to see you set up a table at one of these, Grimsby or with Brad or something. And, you're not that far from Brad either. I'm sure something could be arranged. Hey, Mr. Blue, how you doing?
He looks happy.
He's always
But
happy. Hey, T-Fan, I smell doom in the house. Inside joke. Just running down here. Oh, look at
Sure.
T-Mog. He's on Twitch. He's our one Twitch fan. He'll sit there
Oh,
on.
oh,
Yep,
oh.
there it is. I'm coming. I'm coming, Wheezy.
Is it Elizabeth? Coming to join you,
Probably
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Yeah, Elizabeth.
That was a funny show.
The best shows. I tell you, people don't know what they're missing. Oh, hey, TCP in the house. Chris Murray. Hi, Brad. Nice to see you. What do you collect yourself? Favorite series or favorite sets? That's a good
Great,
question.
Chris. Great question, Chris. The shirt may be a giveaway, but I collect a classic space. I've got
Yeah, there's a few fans of that little cruddy little theme.
I'm missing yeah, I'm missing I think one or two sets from 78 to 85 now. Everything
Wow.
yeah, everything
Really?
yeah, everything else I have. It's completely all torn apart now. I thank goodness I have a very tolerant wife. She's amazing. So I took all this stuff apart. I dusted, cleaned everything because I neglected it too long and I couldn't stand it anymore. So it's kind of I'm just taking a peek at it now. It's kind of destroyed the display, but it'll all be fixed up in a little while. Just checking each build, make sure that I didn't miss anything the first time around when I was building it quick. So
I had
yeah,
an opportunity a while ago. I don't know what the set number was, but it was a
right,
single box set, and I think it was just three figures.
right.
And someone had it sealed, and of course everyone's worried, is it legit or whatever? And I don't know the number, but I tell you, at any price to get a sealed set of just the figures, it's like,
Yeah,
oh, the holy grail.
right.
To get figures without the gold half rubbed off, or the chin strap half broken, or whatever. But I don't think people really understand the nostalgia we feel for that theme. Like, that was my first theme, even if it wasn't the very first piece of Lego I played with. Because I'm pretty sure in kindergarten, in school, because we had Lego in school, I know it
Right.
wasn't space Lego. But my first memories
Hmm.
of owning Lego, my dad had
Yeah.
bought me classic space.
Yep.
It wasn't, we didn't call it classic, it was system or whatever. But and I started buying back a few of these old sets, and I didn't even care if they looked a little
Yeah.
aged and worn, because if I still had them, they would look worse, because I used to put them in my mouth and break them apart, and the dog got
That's
into
what we
them.
did. There was no brick separators.
So I
They didn't
don't look at
exist.
them as these slightly older, discolored things as something horrible. It's like, no, that's my memories. This is what I remember. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
Leaving Lego
Yeah.
accidentally in the backyard and finding it a month later. Well, guess what? It get a little sun bleached. This was
Another
good stuff.
another series that came out that saved Lego from bankruptcy. My first set that I can remember getting, 1978 LL918. It's the first year that it came out. Chris was asking about a favorite set. I don't know if that's a favorite set, but that's definitely one that will remain with me forever. Star Wars came out in 1977, right? Huge, huge hit. And it came out late in 77, right? It wasn't an early release. So Lego followed up all of a sudden with this space line in 78. Well, oh my goodness. Everybody was buying this space stuff and turning it into X-Wing fighters, turning it into TIE fighters, having their own space battles. It was just one of those things. Right. So that's twice now that they've basically been saved by Star Wars.
83 or 84
Yep.
was probably when I was playing with the sets that I had. And sure enough, what I ended up making my versions of a TIE fighter, my versions of an X-wing with the limited amount of parts I had,
That's right.
and I love them.
Yeah.
You know, if anything, I should actually try and recreate that. But the problem is, I have more parts and I have some skills now, and I've learned some techniques. So, of course,
Skills.
it's not going to be what 8-year-old Richard would build. It's going to be, you know, what 40 Richard going to build. But I don't hide my grays. I just hide my age. All right, what's the chat saying? Yeah, Chris. I know. Yeah, see, I mean, Chris knew. He knew. We call that's a softball. You know. Yeah, the hot seat isn't that hot. And T-Mog. Oh, geez, T-Mog. Yeah, T-Mog's. Oh no! Look, he's got some. He's bringing up the rear and twitching. Look,
I own it.
Bruce C. Wolf. There we go. Actually, I don't mind telling you, we're doing okay for our live stream. We got a fair amount in here.
That's great.
T-Fan, what's he saying?
Glad
here?
to see everybody. So.
One of the earliest memories, getting Bionicle. Oh, okay. Hey. This is Bionicle. Brad, what do you think?
Yes.
I mean, we've had a couple of months of people crying, boo-hoo, Bionicle, boo-hoo. You know, what do you think?
Bionicle?
Yeah.
What is that? Is that some different brand or?
All right. You know what? I have no hate for
Lego people don't talk about Lego people. Or what happens at Bionicle Club stays at Bionicle.
It's unfair to put it to you because I don't want to hurt your customers, you know, or you get. But
I never got into the Bionicle theme. I know for some it was the closest thing to mechs that we had at the time.
Yeah,
and that was a big deal. I just never. I was right. It was one of those shrug of the shoulder things.
I like the parts. I think the parts are amazing for mock building.
Some of them are very unique, especially for like I know a lot of guys, or not a lot of guys, but there's a few of them who make either mech mocks or transformer mocks, and they'll use the Bionicle pieces, a lot of hinges, right?
Oh yeah, no, great stuff. And I loved a lot of the rubberized pieces too, because I've seen some interesting wheels and stuff that were made from like shoulder pads and stuff, and it just looked very Mad Max kind of, construction techniques, like just beautiful stuff. But I tell you, what a topic that really divided the Lego community this year, where oh my God, the Bionicle people, how did they manage to screw around with the voting system? Like, well,
the castle people.
Oh,
Right?
I know a lot of people were saying like, well, the topics were split up in such a way. It's like,
don't know who it was, but somebody made a meme and they had a Bionic castle.
Oh.
So they made Bionicle castle and it was all built together into this like picture. And they sent it out. I got a Bionicle. I got a castle. Bionic castle.
But that's the beauty of Lego. It's just a shame that so many people with Lego don't count Bionicle or even Technic, because I can start the same words with a lot of people over Technic. They hate it. If they don't like it, they say there's no studs. Blah blah blah.
Can't stand it. Don't like Technic.
Oh really?
Okay.
No,
not a Technic fan. Too many little pins. My hands are too big.
I'll tell you the truth. I mean, like, when I was building the garbage truck from the Mac Anthem set, I mean, I'm pretty sure 20 to 25% is black pins. Yeah. So you don't always feel like you're getting good value. Fortunately,
5,000 pieces, 3,000 are pins.
3,000 are pins. But I dare you to drop it and take it apart. Because I tell you, those things will survive a drop test pretty good. Because I have dropped the garbage truck. Nothing fell off.
Nice.
And I'm supposed to rip it apart, but it's like, oh, my hands are so sore from the 7 days or whatever it took me to build it. And I dread taking it apart just to build the Mech Anthem.
I understand the appeal. I get the technicality of it. There's so many things you can do with Technic that you can't do with Lego bricks, especially with motorization and movement. It's a great teaching tool. Visually, not my style. That's what it boils down to, right? Visually, it just looks incomplete, right? It looks like a frame with a couple things slap-haphazardly stuck on it.
I was
right?
on
So
someone's
that's
stream
me.
a week ago, and for me, it's every time you would build something, whether it's the jet set or any of the cars, especially the cars, no windscreen, no windshield on these Technics sets. Can you call it like a Lamborghini or a Bugatti or whatever, whatever? There's
Yeah.
no windscreen. You couldn't give us a plastic windscreen. I've
Thumbs up.
taken I've taken cell phone cases, for people who don't know what cell phone cases are. I took the plastic from the cell phone case and I would cut it, as good as I could and clean up the
Sure.
edges.
Sure.
And I would make a windscreen for the Technic sets. And it's like, oh, some people go, oh, it's not Lego. It's like, oh, it's not. Lego isn't the beginning and the end of creativity. I mean, it's a starting point to me.
Yep.
I don't mind bringing something else in. I don't mean I want to mix in fake Lego necessarily, but I'm not limited to, oh, it's got to be Lego and only Lego. I used to make little tents and flags out of real material and stuff, paper, whatever it took. I I don't like the idea of anyone limiting anyone's imagination. I've been
Truth.
ignoring the chat here.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Can't do that.
Let's get a
Hey,
whole bunch of questions.
Jazz. Gimmick
Let's get some,
infringement, Jazz. It's a thing. It's a thing in this country.
get some questions going if there's any there.
I know. Let's see. Okay, let's hit up Ryan for a question. I know he's. Why? Where did it go? It's so slow. Like, oh, everything new. There we go.
Okay.
Question for Brad. What do you do for storage? Everything in house, or do you rent storage units like ABC?
Everything's in house. Yeah.
Yeah,
Keep everything.
Ca-
Most of
Castle
it.
Castle Brad's pretty big, so he's got some
Spent,
storage.
I spent a couple of decades in logistics and warehousing, so storing stuff is something that I'm very familiar with. Let's put it that way. I try to use every single nook and cranny. I was also a musician for the longest time, so stuffing a van full of music equipment has made me a Jenga expert. So I'm able
Yes.
to do that with the Lego boxes as well.
It's funny you said Jenga because I use that word all the time. I Jenga it, and I make up the words as I go.
See,
But
for
yep,
those who are unfamiliar as well, I primarily deal in sets and figures. I don't supply either on my Bricklink store or in my web store parts. You feel free to ask. I've got a wall in front of me full of parts that I use for my own personal use and for helping out with used sets and stuff. But so that makes it a little bit. I don't know if it's easier, but at least I can take square boxes and put them all together. I don't have to worry about drawers.
Jacob's got a question here for
Sure.
Brad. Weirdest order you had to fill?
The weirdest.
Weirdest order you had to fill?
I don't know, right? There's this crazy Ninjago guy, right? He's got like all these like ancient sets that nobody's ever heard of before. So no, just kidding. Okay, so
Has he committed to the order yet?
I've got.
We're not calling out anyone, Jacob.
I had a. Yes, I'm a smart aleck. In case you haven't figured it out.
Yeah.
I had somebody order a 15-cent instruction once from the U.S. That was kind of weird.
Wow.
That's all they wanted. Instructions, 15 cents from the U.S. 10
And
bucks
what-
to ship.
$10 to ship.
10 bucks to ship.
You know what though? And you probably
That's what you
still
want.
made them very happy. I've
That's right.
I've done a few of those small dumb orders, just because sometimes I'm afraid of going down the slope of I'm going to put in $15 to make sure it pays for the shipping or it's worth the shipping. And
See,
sometimes
that's you or me. Some people don't think that way.
you just want to get in and out and get that one item, and yeah, I get that.
It is what it is. Maybe he has some sort of write-off. I don't know. That we
Hey!
don't know about. Who knows?
Rocky Post from
Oh.
Lego Collectors Canada on Facebook.
Hello, Rocky. How you doing?
Just about 5,000 members strong, or very close to it. And please check out, Lego Collectors Canada. Very good opportunities with the draws. So contact Rocky about that.
Fantastic site, fantastic guy. Lots of Lego information you can get there. Lots of Lego users that are very helpful and into trading. You can also find some some good deals on some Lego. People who are looking to offload or trade their sets.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in there less and less often, but I'm still there every week, and I'm still communicating with people and still having a good time in there. Glad you dropped by, Rock. Bruce. Oh, Bruce is floating around. He's having some fun on us.
That's okay.
Sto- there was a question about the storage system, and I skipped. Oh, here we
Okay.
go. Bruce
All right.
asked it actually.
What sorting
What
system
sorting
do I
system do
use?
you use?
Sorting for which? For pieces? If it's for pieces, I use probably almost like everybody else, but um, you get the book of trays, I call it, from Canadian Tire, and I sort by color and then by piece, actually. I put one by one bricks, then one by two, one by three, one by four, one by six, one by eight, right until I'm done. But I also don't have a million pieces. That may not be practical for some people. As far as figures, I store them by theme. I find that to be the easiest because I have like, I don't know, about 1,500 figures or so. So to try and put them individually somewhere just takes up too much space. So I had to do a compromise between space and practicality, right? So if I do it by theme, sometimes it takes a little bit longer if I'm picking a Star Wars, but I also broke them down into guys with lightsabers, episodes 4, 5, 6, clone troopers, and pilots and droids. So they're all separate droids or separate drawers for that. If I tried to put it all in one drawer, I'd be forever doing it. Same with sets. They are all sorted by theme. I have them boxed and or put in bins, as well as underneath all the tables here and above the tables and over there and in that closet. And so they're kind of everywhere. However, they're all sorted and labeled by theme. So I
So
keep
here's a
Star
question
Wars.
I have for you. So, um, this is your life. This is your business.
It is.
This feeds the family. This takes care of all the bills.
It does.
How long have you, at one session, let's say, sat down to sort, piece out, count, check something, check a set? Like, for me, when I'm buying and collecting, especially some of the used stuff where it's going to take, I'm going to have to check it to make sure it's complete and all
Right.
this.
Hey,
For
Trevor.
me, sometimes even 2 hours can be tough. What's your longest session of sitting down and just being in that Lego mindset of, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, whether it's for the business, myself, or my other Lego related interests? What's your longest session in a day? Or has
All
it
day.
gone, oh, all
All
day?
day. All day.
It's all
Yeah,
consuming.
without a doubt, all day. Of course, I get up and I have to move around. Part of that's just the body won't handle sitting there hunched over all the time, so I got to get up and move around. So it's not constantly just doing one thing, but yes, it's an all day
I used
process.
to do 8 hour streams when I first started streaming because I would just build and plow right
Right.
through it. And I can't do it. The back won't do it. It doesn't matter how
Yeah.
good the chair is. The human body's aging. It's at the point where it's not fun. That's where I got to stop. Time
Well, you
to
have
leave
to
the
get up
stream.
and move around too, no matter what you're doing. Being
Yeah.
sedentary in one position is just not good for you, period. Right? No
No.
matter the age. So
And there's a lot of that to this hobby that I worry for
it's
some.
a thorough process that we go through. We're not like a lot of the other businesses that are out there. Our used product, we have a like new guarantee. Right? We guarantee that it's like new, and if it's not, yes, send it back. We're human. We're not perfect. We do make the occasional mistake. I can either replace a piece or just you're not happy, send it all back. But from we get it in and it's washed, it's cleaned, it's dried, it's laid out nice, it's put together with the instructions, it's taken pictures of anything that's destroyed, broken, any pieces that are broken, all replaced, put together, pictures taken, listed, and when it's sold, then it's taken apart, it's checked against not only instructions but against Bricklink inventory as well, and then it's sent out. Right now, that sounds really short, but that's a long, drawn out process when you're checking
Yeah.
every single piece. And I am checking every single piece to check for scratches, beyond micro abrasions, yellowing, discoloring, marks, you name it. right? It's not just picking it out of a box and putting a set together. So a simple set of, whatever, couple, 500 pieces, right? A simple little set that would take, if you're buying it out of a box, what, half an hour, maybe an hour, if you're careful, maybe 15 minutes, depending on how fast you build, right? That could be a day-long process for me.
Wow. Do you actually? We'll get Chris's question first. What
Sure.
percentage of your sets would you say are on display at any one time throughout your home? And and how often do you rotate through them?
If you're asking about personal sets, I keep my mocks on display and my classic space. That's it. As far as inventory goes, used inventory is built, taken pictures of, and then stored built. So if anyone wants to come to the house and see it, you can see it.
You
I
break
don't
them down,
always.
you break it down to ship though.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. That's a good question, Chris.
Hello, Mr. Hudson.
All new Rock. Well, hey, Rock, you got to hang around more. In fact, I want to bring you on, and it doesn't have to be one-on-one. We could do roundtable. I want this to be a regular series. We'll bring in some of us old farts and bash around some topics. Tell some truths, tell some lies. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, Jacob, is there a max amount of one item someone can buy from your store? Okay, so
Hi, Jacob.
This is specific, I guess, to your Bricklink store right now.
Yes, the answer to that is no. You can buy as many of one item as you wish, as I have inventory. Yeah, if I have 10 of them, you want 10 of them, buy all 10. No maximum at all, no minimum at all.
By the way, guys, in reference to the Bricklink store,
Yes.
I want to show something.
Well, would you look at that?
So Brad has got a soft launch right now with a full launch May 1st for BTLG Bricks on the web. You can browse the site now. It's pretty easy. I went through it earlier just to get a feel for it. I like what I see so far. And if you see anything you want to commit to, just reach out to Brad through the on-screen link on the webpage. And he'll hook you up before May 1st. And after May 1st, you should be able to use the website straight up.
Thank you for that.
Oh, no problem. Let's
Yeah,
see.
we're
Look at Ryan. My boys here, we're all poking fun at each other. You got a good fan club here, by the way, and that says something because, like you said, I mean, you take care of the customer. If there's an issue, you fix it. I've been in and out of a lot of the groups. Some of the same groups I come and go, and there's definitely some names I avoid, and some you hear dirty talk about, and your name always comes up in the best of conversations. So.
Thank you.
That's an official endorsement coming from me. I say that straight faced and I mean it. And I'm sure Ryan and Jacob.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that feedback. We work hard to make sure that people who buy from us get the best of everything.
Jacob, be careful. He'll get you 1,000 brick separators. This is an inside joke.
How soon do you need them, Jacob?
We got this idea that if you buy up all the brick separators,
yes.
you got to raise the value of them. Can you imagine people dumping them on the market? Oh, I would just love to play that game just to see if you can get someone to pay more than 50 cents for these things. I mean, Lego sells them for what? $3 in a package? If you go to Lego store, they sell them.
$1.99.
Is it $1.99?
$2.99. Yeah, but yeah, it's something silly like that.
I mean, at any time, any of us who buy any number of sets can pull these things out,
Yeah. And I got a bag of them around somewhere.
Yeah.
Kids have like a dozen of them, so yeah.
I mean, they're pretty good for picking.
There's a
Pretty good for picking your teeth, you know.
there's a small little bag I got, but I've got more kicking around all over the place. So
Oh, I bet you've got some nicer old ones, the original ones.
I got a
You
couple
must.
little gray ones kicking around somewhere. Right, the
Yeah.
big fat ones. Right?
See,
So
people don't. No, they don't appreciate
I
some
wonder
of
if I
the
can.
old
Oh,
stuff.
there's one. Yeah, there's
Can
one
you?
there.
Wow, that easy, that fast, eh? Let
Yeah,
me
how
see.
about
I'm gonna
that
put
guy?
you full screen. So, what year?
That's old.
What era? What era would you say? Oh, look at that! It looks like a doorstop.
That's
Straight up.
old. That's old gray. That's not the new dark bluish gray. That's old dark gray. So this would have. Gee, I wonder when this would have came out. Probably the '90s. I'm guessing.
Early,
Early. Yeah, for sure.
because they would have stopped with the dark gray. What, mid '90s?
Copyright's on the back, but there's no date. But that's okay. But yeah, it
Wow.
would have been around there. So that was the big fatty, right?
See, people can't. Some people just won't appreciate something. Me, I'm going, yeah. Oh, hey, here's a question for you.
Sure.
Um, Lego had this triangle tool that you could put. Actually, it was mostly for Technic. You could put the Technic beams in there. It was like a kind of a quick measure tool. Is
Okay.
that something you've ever seen?
I've seen a picture of it, but I've never actually seen it in real life.
Really? Huh?
I know what
Some
you're talking about. I
Guys,
have seen
it's
it, but
one of
I've
those
never seen it
oddities.
in
Like I
real.
don't collect accessories. I'm always bitching at people that I don't collect accessories, but
Of
that is
course.
something. It's Lego history to me, and that's something that I thought I would ask you about. Let's see. Hey, Mama Lego, what's up? Just you are in Paris, Ontario, so you must be a great guy.
Well, thank you.
I tell you,
Yeah, and
Mama,
yes, it's
the first
true. I
time
am
I
a very
drove out
great.
to meet him out in Paris, I tell you, I fell in love with Paris. I'm still scheming on how to move out there. I love it.
Housing's going up like crazy. You want to buy now.
You know, the last time I was out there and I saw the signs near some of the farms and the prices, and I go, that's Toronto pricing. What's going on?
Well, that's what's happening. People in big city are moving out, so they're raising the prices down here, right? So, still kicking myself. The very first, one of the first ones we saw that went up.
Rocky's got
Uh,
hundreds of separators. Yeah, one for
it's,
every Star Wars set
eh,
and every boat he's got.
yeah, first houses went up in this neighborhood. They were in the 400s. Still
Oh,
kicking myself. I should have bought one, but oh well.
okay.
Hindsight's
Brad,
2020. Yeah.
here's a question.
Oh my.
What mocks do you do?
Oh.
You got something you could show?
I've got a
Anything
bunch here to
handy?
show. Actually, do you mind? Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Let's. If you got them handy,
Um.
there you go. You got the screen.
Okay. So here's one. Okay, this is
Uh,
Colonial Viper from Battlestar Galactica. It's one of my favorite ones that I've ever did. Still working on the Cylon Ranger. I can't seem to get the quite to the scale that I wanted at. This is also for sale, by the way. A lot of people know us and have seen this from us. I've always told you I prefer micro scale. This is the Battlestar. Okay,
oh, I like that.
This is the Galactica itself. Okay, so
Are you selling the mocks on your page?
love that little thing. Not yet. The Viper, I am. I've always been an aeronautics fan, so one of the first things I did was this CF-18. All right, this is a nice little CF-18 Hornet.
Oh boy, I tell you,
Yeah,
I wonder if
so
Jason Kamlik is watching because
absolutely love this guy.
he's our resident military aircraft Lego guy, and he would
I just
love that.
yeah, I love this thing. Just had a great time with it. Decided to do because I told you I'm a micro scale builder, mostly because I can never afford or the space to have so much Lego and build in micro scale and try and get some detail. This is the Bonaventure. This is Canada's only aircraft carrier. This
Floating.
is actually if you look up the Bonaventure, it actually was right. We is the only one we ever had. The helicopter is not part of it, but I just thought it looked really cool. Right, little mini helicopter on top there.
Nice.
And of course, I had to do the fleet, so I did the Halifax and the Iroquois. Right. Once
Wow,
again, look
it's
up
such a
pictures of them.
challenge to build something that scale, but I see the shape. Yeah.
Look up pictures of them. That's what they look like. What else we got kicking around? Oh, I do a whole bunch of I guess, little mini displays for minifigures. Love this one here. This is Luke on the Death Star. Right, get a nice shot of that in there.
So
All these
using snot technique for the back there. Actually, using snot technique for everything.
These are for sale. So
nice.
Right, they're a lot of fun to build. I probably got about 8 or 9 of them. I did a Yoda here at the Jedi Council. Oh, right, this is a popular one. I've sold a few of these. These are really nice. I like these a lot. Most recent one I did is I did a General Riken here on Hoth. So he's in front of Echo Base, in front of the doors opening. We got the ion cannon there on the one side, and we have one of the little turret.
I like that. I like the
turret guns there. So yeah, micro scale is a lot of fun. I told you before I did the Falcon. There it is. So the 7190, if you ever want to look it up to see what it looks like, I won't show you pictures now, but it was interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
You can't see the top. I don't have the top on it here yet. Let me see if I can get a pretty good shot of this. Okay, so we have some interior going on. I'm going to put it in front of my face.
So much detail.
Thank you. I actually took specs of the Falcon and pulled up blueprints of it and made this according to the blueprints. So,
wow.
You actually can walk onto the cockpit. Did the underside as well. Right, redid those amazing landing gear they had on the 7190. It was an AT-AT foot with a spaceship landing gear. That was the original landing gear on it. There was no guns underneath, right? So I had to figure out how to add that in. This is all done with Aero-specific parts. It's all old light gray.
Okay, yeah, right? I was going to ask if you maintained that stuff. Wow, that's great.
Yep, sure did. Didn't add any new parts in whatsoever. The black and the tan is homage to the original set as well as the shape, and I kept the bottom. What are those UFO pieces? I guess.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I always call them.
I call them clamshell pieces.
Sure, that works.
Yeah.
Right. Did
Oh, I like
right.
that.
That retracts as well and comes on up. So, but yeah, I kept some of the pieces from the original set. Right. These the little side pieces here they were part of the original set.
They got to be pretty pricey, eh?
One thing they did right. That's actually the original design of the. What do you call these?
I
forget what these are called.
According to the encyclopedia, they called them mandibles because they
Thank you. That's the word I can never remember.
They were supposedly designed to grab cargo containers in universe. Right. Not that we ever saw it, but
the 7190 was the only set to get the mandibles right because they actually attached it into the curve of the ship. All the Falcons, other than the UCS, actually just use a Technic piece and attach these mandibles on, and they looks like that.
Yeah,
right? They did a horrible job doing it, but this is almost identical to what they originally designed and planned to attach this right into the curve. So why they didn't keep going with that, I have no idea.
Okay, we got another question here, so let's bring it out of this.
No one wants to see those silly little things anyway.
Oh, I don't know. I enjoyed that. Ooh.
Did that for my daughter.
Oh, that is sweet. I tell you. Wow. Christopher was asking, great live interview. Thanks. Do you prefer selling on Bricklink, eBay, Amazon, Marketplace, Kijiji, etc.? What are the advantages and disadvantages of each platform according to you? That's a good question.
Maybe
you've done it all, I assume, or
just about everything. Maybe just pop that back up so I don't miss any parts.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right, good question, Chris. Christoph. I'm not sure what you prefer. Okay, if you want to sell Lego on Amazon, you have to get authorized by Amazon to sell Lego. There is 2 Lego dealers on Amazon at the moment, and that's it. You'll see a lot of people selling Lego on Amazon. They are not authorized. They're not an authorized Amazon seller. So there's a lot of issues and problems you can have with that. Their fees are even worse than eBay. They don't promote your store. They're not a fan of small business at all. eBay has turned way more corporate as opposed to when they first started off. It used to be just a huge, like, giant garage sale. People say that, but it literally was. Like, people just put stuff up there and you'd buy and sell and trade. And once again, it has turned way too corporate. Fees are silly. eBay has a good reach. It still does. It's still a popular brand, even though it's has moved into more of the corporate sphere. So you do get a lot of traffic and a lot of people that will come in. A lot of something that people don't know right now is that if you're buying on eBay, then you're paying tax. eBay collects the tax, whether or not the store is live or not. Bricklink has started that as well. They're doing it properly. eBay is not. They're actually not supposed to be charging Canadian customers tax. Marketplace Kijiji, if you want to move something quickly and cheaply, that's where you put it. Pretty much everybody on there, that's almost like the new garage sale, right? I don't know if it's a new garage sale, but a garage sale type of place, right? You're not going to get, I shouldn't say you're not going to get, most times you won't get a market, you're looking at below market value. If you want to sell something quickly on that, you can leave it there for what you believe is market value, and you may get a hit, you may not. You'll get a lot of low ballers. A lot of people still think they can buy on Kijiji and then sell it on Bricklink.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll get that a lot.
The same day, the next day, I see it.
Yep. Yeah, it's and unfortunately, there's a lot of people who will take advantage and, oh, look at the deal I got. I bought the UCS Falcon for $20 off of this guy. Okay, well, you know what? Congratulations to you, but it's not something ethically that I would be able to do. I usually tell people that if you want to get rid of a collection or trying to sell off a lot of your stuff, then come and sell it to a person like me.
Yeah.
I will give you as fair of a market value as I can. Plus, the advantage of doing something like that is I'll just buy it all, right? You won't have to deal with the thousands of people who some are looking to get the best deal, but some are just looking to get the lowest price possible.
Yeah.
Bricklink is a good place to sell if you're. Bricklink is a good place to buy if you're buying parts. It's a good place to sell for anybody. It has a huge reach. With the corporate takeover of from Lego now, Lego now owns the primary and the secondary market. Great business move. Terrible for sellers.
Yeah.
Fees will be increasing. They haven't increased yet, but they will be. It's coming. Anyone who doesn't say it's coming is just, they're wrong, period. You need to have your own place for people to come to buy your wares. Now, I'm talking, of course, strictly full-time. As a hobbyist, if you can stand the fees on eBay, it's still a good place to put Lego up to sell. A lot of Lego still sells on that site. Bricklink and PayPal fees, you're looking at quite a large chunk of percentage there taken out. But as a hobbyist, it's still probably one of the best places to go. Although now I would recommend Brick Owl. Brick Owl is a lot more seller friendly. It's a lot more buyer friendly. Their search function is a lot better. They listen to feedback more. They're still in that small enough stage where they haven't gone totally corporate, so they're still listening to their users. So that's
so
that's
you having said that,
yes,
you're not on Brick Owl yet, are you?
I have an account on Brick Owl.
Right.
What I ran into, see, that was the next phase of the business plan. To go from Bricklink over to Brick Owl, sync inventory for a while, and then expand right over to Brick Owl and just stay there. because of things that have happened in the world, I have upped the timeline, I guess is the phrase I'm looking to say,
Sure.
of my own web store. So instead of doing the Bricklink to Brick Owl to the web store, I've gone Bricklink to the web store. And then what I'll do then is slowly work my way over to have a double presence on Brick Owl and the web store. See, the issue with Bricklink, they want you to buy on Bricklink.
Yeah.
That's how they get their fees.
Well,
so I can't say on Bricklink, oh hey, by the way, come and check out my website here, BTLGbricks.ca. I can't say that, right?
I got 1,000 members in a Facebook group who knew what I had to deal with to create that Facebook group. When Bricklink decided to cut me off at the nuts when they realized what I was doing, and
it's horrible.
But it's funny. They, you offer a message service, but you don't want people to use it, because all I did was messaged. Yes, I messaged 700 plus stores, but all I did was use their service. I mean, and use a function of their service. But yeah, I think Bricklink is a dinosaur. I think it has a lot of problems. I think that Lego buying it out is bad, not good, although I'm hoping they do consolidate some things, like color and naming conventions. I know some people are going to hate that, but it really sucks having one term on Lego and one term on Bricklink. It's horrible.
I actually don't. It is. I wish. I actually prefer the Bricklink color naming as opposed to the Lego naming. So if it's going to go one way, you're right. It should be one way. Period. If it does go, I hope they choose the Bricklink way.
I just don't see how it can't be consolidated. They just got to do it.
This is gray, right? Not light stone or medium stone or whatever they call it, right? Like, it's gray.
Yeah, I just don't get where they get some of their colors.
Be user friendly, be buyer friendly. Try to remember that you were a fan at one point, or at least you should be, right? It's what I'm trying to keep in the back of my mind with the web store, right? With BTLGbricks.ca. That's what I'm trying to make sure that it is streamlined. It doesn't have like all these fancy bells and windows shooting in, and scroll down to this and look at that, and boom, there's an explosion. And like, no, you're going there to buy some Lego. So, go here, go there it is, and off you go.
Okay, I'm going to get Jacob's question first, just because I figure it's a short one, and then William, His Royal Highness William next, I promise.
Of course.
How come some things like a polybag show up on your web store, but not your Bricklink?
I have added inventory to the web store specific for the web store. So on launch, I actually have some unique things there as opposed to just a direct mirror of the Bricklink store.
I'm going to guess some of that just makes sense. Like having those fees on Bricklink just kills the point in even selling some of those things. But if you sell it on your web store proper, you probably, the savings there make it worth selling, right?
It's a small percentage, but
it's got to help in the case of the small poly bags that haven't accrued any value yet.
Yeah, I also need unique things there, right? The whole point is to get people coming there and not just to Bricklink. They need to have a reason to go there. So.
Oh, and by the way, people, you can also find Brad on Bricklink Lego Stores of Canada.
You can.
Yes, he's one of our founding members. So let's get this question up. Hey, Brad, from your experience, are there certain sets that tend to appreciate more than others after retirement? For example, a certain theme, build, such as buildings, vehicles, or ships, sets with large quantities of less common colors, and sets with lots of figures. Boy, that's a lot to unpack, but it's a good question.
There is. It's a fantastic question, and there certainly is. I seem over the years, I seem to be getting a little bit better at guessing on which ones are going to go, or which ones are going to increase in value at a higher percentage than those that don't. I seem to be more right than wrong now, as opposed to a 50-50 split a little bit ago and not having a clue a while ago. But I've actually done a whole data analysis of this through, tens of thousands of Lego sets. And 2% of Lego sets will actually go down in value. 8% of Lego sets will maintain their value, and 90% of Lego sets will go up in value. Now, some will only go up in value by as little as 2 to 5%. Some will go up by 500%. Themes that have a tendency to rise in value a lot are movie-based themes. Indiana Jones, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Star Wars. Themes that don't seem to increase a lot because there's not a lot of aftermarket interest. Regular City, Creator 3-in-1, Friends. That's 3 examples off the top of my head.
Elves.
Pardon me?
Elves.
Elves went up because of the dragons.
Oh yeah, everyone wanted the little. Isn't that
not just
funny?
the little ones, not just the little ones, but the big ones too.
Oh,
right?
the builds. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody wanted the dragons, so they went up. Discontinued line 2 also means an automatic increase. Idea sets have a tendency to go up quite a bit because they're one-offs. They're unique. That's it. It's like it's Back to the Future. That's it. There's Friends, right? That's it. Big Bang Theory. That's it. Right? So the ideas lines have a tendency to go up more. Figures wise, let's just read the bottom of that again. Sets with large coins. Figures will increase in value in accordance with the value of the set. So a $50 set might have $5 minifigures. A $500 set will have $50 minifigures.
Like I know,
I hope that answers that part a little bit. Just because a set has a lot of figures doesn't necessarily mean it's going to increase more than a set with only 1 or 2 figures. Part of it has to do with the commonality
Star
of the
Wars set, the Death Star, 25 figures, low value generally for most of them.
Yeah, 1 or 2. It's the uniqueness of the figure and how many sets it actually appears in.
Yeah.
Right? What's a good example? Just trying to think now. Who hasn't been done a lot? Just about everybody's been done like crazy.
Yeah.
A fully printed Luke Skywalker, Bespin. Okay, that's a big one. 2 have only ever been done. 1 most recently. Both those figures are going to. One might have peaked, right? The old one may have peaked now, but the newer one will increase in value because there's only ever been 2 made.
Chris was saying modulars seem to always do good.
Modulars do. Again, that's not the 3-in-1. That's the expert line. They're also one-offs, right?
Yeah.
Lego also recognized city builders want these, and there is a class of city builders who want these modulars. I absolutely love them. I think they're stunning. They do a great job in making each and every one of them. If you're going to build a city, you absolutely need to have them. But yes, they're another one that have a limited release, so they're not mass released. There's only 1. So because there's only 1, it's going to go up.
Jonathan mentions Bricktober figs. All the Toys R Us.
Yes.
Figs.
Yeah, if you need any, Jonathan, I got a box full. So you can hit me up with that anytime. Yes, but again, limited release, one-offs. They only made a certain amount of them, so up they'll go in value. Right, and that tends to be the trend, right? A limited release or only 1. Up they go.
John's selling. It's okay. We're all selling them. For me, if I can't build with it, it's I'm not a Lego figure guy. I'm not going to have lines and lines and lines of figures. Yeah, I got the CMFs. I got almost all of them. But blah blah blah. But I don't see the value in them. I really don't. I like to build stuff. The figures just sit there and rot.
It's you're one side of the coin, and then the other side of the coin is people just collect figures and they don't want the sets. They display smaller. They have they take up less room. They can put them in a frame and stick them up on the wall if they have to. They love the idea of having all the little minifigures, and instead of paying $500 for a set, they are more than happy to pay $50, $60 for a figure, as opposed to having to fork out $500.
Yeah.
So it's two completely different sides of the coin. There's a space for everybody.
John, trying to sell them.
Once again, BTLG Bricks is always buying. So
If you
we talk about Ulysses. Yeah, Lego really screwed that up, didn't they?
always buying.
What else is new?
Yeah, I tell you,
Lego made
it's
a
one of
mess
those
of that.
things. I wanted it, but I didn't really care for it, because I have no attachment to it. This I have attachment to. I used to stay home and watch the shuttles go up. I grew up watching it. I saw both of the booms happen. I have memories of both those events. Ulysses means nothing to me, and it would have been cool. And if it really sucks that it was just one more way to suck us out of our points, and then there were so few of them available.
See, this is going to be a new thing, right? Let's just say that through the contacts that I have, buying what used to be GWPs is more than likely to become the norm as opposed to the exception. And this was a test run.
Yeah.
Okay. So once again, business-wise, smart move business-wise. Doesn't really help the consumer too much, but it's a very smart move business-wise for Lego to do. I don't like it. I think it goes against everything that Lego as a company is supposedly standing for, but I think this is going to be a new business model going moving forward.
I don't think they're
as opposed
terribly
to this,
concerned. I don't think they're worried about customers walking away, because every time someone talks about it, I see them
nobody
come
does.
right back. No one does. They come right back. They buy the next big sets, and they try for the next big event. So I don't
That's
see
right.
too many that really walk away because of their outrage over an event business practice.
Most people will see
they
it
weren't
as
supposed to sell it exclusive, and they did in some region. Oh, they should have done this, and they didn't. Well,
most people will see it as points. Most people consider points free money, so they'll just think it's free anyway. I just need to spend, quote spend, even though I'm not spending points to acquire it.
yeah,
This happens all the time with unique GWPs. They underproduce, overhype, and they have yet to fix their servers. Like, how many years does it go by? I don't see them putting any more money into that type of infrastructure. So, I think that if you want those, then that's what you're going to have to deal and live with. Right? This one, though, it's coming back.
oh yeah, okay.
I don't know if you've noticed or not, but I don't know if you've noticed, but they have made a point now of previous gift with purchases. They've made a point of bringing it back and putting them for sale on Lego.ca or Lego.com. Have you noticed?
Yeah, some
Right?
and
Yeah. So they
I'll
will
tell you
come
what.
back.
And what's worse, so you can
They
buy
even had the
some
Bat
of
Pod.
these. Yep.
Right? Even the Bat Pod came back.
Yeah.
Right? So this one will be back. So if you didn't get it this time, don't go and spend $300 on it or whatever they're asking for now. It'll come
A lot
back.
of people
Just like
bought the
coins.
Revin polybag from me back in the day. What was it, 2014 or whatever?
Right.
And then what was it? 4 years later, Lego all of a sudden dumped a whole bunch on the market. This rare, hard to get promo, because a lot of people ignored it because it was from the video game universe, and a lot of Star Wars collectors ignored it because it wasn't movie universe stuff and it wasn't original trilogy stuff. So Revin polybag, who cares, right? And of course, after all those years, it accrued some value, skyrocketed, and then Lego goes and dumps them on the market. And then we saw 2 years ago where they dumped that black box with the 5 polybag sets in it, right?
Yes.
It had all the previous gifts with purchases for the last
Right.
14 months.
That's
They
right.
dumped it on the market. I feel bad when people go in deep on some of this stuff, and it's like, there's nothing stopping them. Even if they didn't have it stockpiled, there's nothing stopping them from going back and doing a new run.
That's right.
Same print, same packaging. They could absolutely. It's like, oh, everyone goes boo-hoo. They re-released the Taj Mahal set. Well, that was a new box, new this, new that. They didn't have to. They could have literally just done a whole new batch. This could be the whole trading cards in the '90s thing all over again, where Tops and Fleer and Skybox and a few others, they ran new sheets of cards on the hot ones. There's nothing stopping them. Yeah, it's morally and
That's right.
ethically wrong, but they did it, and there's lots of evidence. A lot of people in that industry got burned, and I tell you, Lego, they're doing it to us. They're they're sticking it to us.
Well, you see, they have all the metadata now from the secondary market as well, right? So they know what people are clicking on, what they're searching for, what they're looking for the most. They're looking at popularity of sets, of pieces, and all of these are will be incorporated into builds for the future, as well as releases of sets, as well as what they are going to release.
Yeah.
They bought Bricklink. The revenue is peanuts, right? They could care less about the revenue. They bought it for the metadata, right?
Information. Yep.
They want that information is key. They want to know what you're buying, what time you're buying it at, what address it's going to, how much you're spending, what you're clicking on, what you're searching for. Like all that data is there,
Yeah.
right? And people and Lego wants that data. They want that from you. They want that info.
Jacob has a question. He wants to know if you got
Mhm.
the Ninjago Bricktober pack. Jacob, this is not a shill stream where you could just ask any question of this shop and get, I couldn't keep a straight face through the rest of that.
I'm
I just couldn't.
I will check for you because I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So if you shoot me a message tomorrow, after you get up and have a Coke, then let me know.
Yeah,
And
after you watch me at
remind
10 a.m. on Brick Adjuster stream, after you watch that, then you can shoot Brad a message. God, I hope I wake up.
I'll check for you.
Let's see, Ryan. Until recently, I was strictly a set guy, not figures. Did I mention recently? Thanks a lot, Brad.
You're welcome.
All right, we got our
Anything
first
I
dad
can,
comment
anything I
about Brad. We got one. We put that on the board.
can. I'm here for you, buddy.
Let's see. Let's run down. Oh, actually, this one. Hey, someone's asking me a question. Cool. My stream. Did you see the Kenad arm print part of the shuttle on Etsy? I didn't see it on Etsy. I saw it from one of the local lugs here in Toronto. Actually, Chantel Builds. She sent me some photos of it. I actually asked for a whole bunch of pieces. I don't care if I get a part or if I can get a sticker. If I, I'll get it printed myself if I have to. That Kenad arm, it's a travesty that it's not branded. I mean, it was ours. It was always ours. Why did Lego neglect that one little piece of information? I don't know. I mean, we built it here. Why does it not have the branding? I don't know. And it could be something as simple as, the country of Canada actually owns branding for Canada, and Lego
Could be
can't
licensing.
just. It could be licensing.
Yep.
Lego can't just automatically slap that on there without paying a fee. We guard
Get
a
it
lot of
from
our stuff.
get it from OK Brickworks.
Okay, Brickworks, yeah.
Yeah, if you
As
want any, if
as
you
as
want
a
any,
part.
if you want any, as a sticker,
Oh, as a sticker. Yeah, see, I'd be
as a
happy with a
sticker.
nice sticker.
If you want any type of stickering done whatsoever, go on, I don't know, wherever, Facebook, whatever your social media is of choice, and look up OK Brickworks. These guys are phenomenal, just phenomenal. They did. I did a bunch of hockey players up for my son's hockey team, and they did his hockey team logo for the front and numbers for the back.
Oh,
So I
that's so
did up one
sweet.
for each kid, right? We put it
Nice.
in a little Lego snow globe ball, gave it for a Christmas present. So I built a little pad in there and had a hockey player in their team colors for each player for Christmas.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, yeah, it was great. Smiles on their faces were worth every penny.
Most important question of the night again comes to me.
Oh, of
Boxers or
course.
briefs?
Yeah.
Briefs. I got to keep my junk in one place.
Way
I'm a
more
machine
information.
operator. I'm up in the air with a harness. I need to know where everything is. It's very important. It's life or death, and you can't not have a harness do this and not know where your stuff is.
And as you get older, things drop lower, so you need to hold them tight.
Yeah, good pair of jeans and good harness and good pair of briefs. Safety first,
Suspenders on the briefs.
dude. I got suspenders too. No one has ever, no one has ever seen my cracks, sir.
That's a good thing.
I've been married 20 years. My wife hasn't seen that either. So, Christoph, any interest in Comic Con minifigs and sets? Oh, oh.
You betcha.
Yeah, or rare minifig releases like the Miles Morales PlayStation minifig. Okay, that
Yes.
one I don't know about, but I'm guessing it's a fig that it's included with the video game. Your opinion on these rare sets and minifigs? What's the best time frame for selling any of these? A year, 2 years, 10 years? Is there a point where sets and minifigs stop gaining value in your opinion? Wow.
Okay. Um,
Feel free
Comic
to
Con.
just do part of that if you want, because that's a big question.
I might be able to get it all here. Comic Con sets will hit a very specific market. So you have a very specific buyer that's going to want those. Most people don't, right? They could care less. If they get it while they're great, or oh, that looks cool. What's the price? Are you crazy? That's usually what happens. Um, as far as value, they will hit a saturation point. Um, Value is only as much as what a buyer is willing to pay, not what is listed. That seems to be the mistake that a lot of people make. They'll go to a place like Bricklink because they think it's the Bible for pricing. It's not. There's a lot of things wrong with Bricklink pricing, but they'll go there and they'll say that you are either too expensive or too cheap as your price. Well, how come? Well, because Bricklink says, well, okay, wait a minute. So I'm in a very small town. There's a very limited market here. So some things I can sell a little bit higher. Some things I have to sell a little bit lower. I have to not only price, but stock according to my market. Somebody who lives in a place where there's a lot of Lego, it's, just or a huge amount of people, 35 million, or in a place like Toronto with, what are we up to now? 3, 4, or 5 million in GTA,
3+ million in Toronto
right?
alone. Toronto
Right.
alone. Yeah.
So something like that, just by nature of the amount of people, it's going to be a more competitive market, which should drive prices a little bit lower. As far as time frame is concerned, that is completely up to you. Immediately after a Comic Con gets done, the set from the Comic Con has gone up like that, 50%, bang. Within 6 months, it's doubled. Within a year, I don't know. It can go anywhere from 2 times the amount to 4 times the amount, depending.
Yeah.
And then it starts reaching a saturation point because people just aren't willing to pay that much. They'll just pass it over, and you'll see prices starting to drop and drop and drop and drop. So I hope that covered everything. It's close, maybe.
I think that was pretty good. Let's see here.
Great question, by the way. Don't get asked about the Comic
Really,
Con things a lot, so great
yeah.
question.
And it is, I know the Star Wars one that I just held up. Like, of course, you got the Star Wars fans. And then the previous year, you had the Millennium Falcon cockpit.
Yes.
Star Wars fans, huge group. But some of the others, not so much. And like, the Wonder Woman set. Yeah, DC Comics, has their subset of fans. I have no delusions. That Wonder Woman set's never going to reach some of the peaks that maybe some of the Star Wars stuff or some of the rare stuff. I mean,
No.
I tell you, those minifigs and blisters, that shocks me all the time. That one little figure in a generic blister with a easy to reproduce piece of cardboard, by the way, that you can
Yes.
open up.
Yes.
They, 500 to $1,000 within 2 months,
Mhm.
and will sit there for a while. And we haven't seen them come down yet, in an appreciable way. They do, but they'll sit at that peak for a long time.
They will. A lot of people are unwilling to move, and they're in no rush to sell, so they think that that's what it's worth, and that's what they'll get until they realize that doesn't happen.
Okay, so yeah, blue milk Luke. Yeah, I keep seeing pictures of this figure. It's like,
Yes.
you know what? I'm not. Like I said, I'm not a minifigure only type collector.
Mhm.
I'm not going to spend $80 for a video game to get that Luke. I'm just not. I'm not a completist. I get a lot of stuff. I'm not a completist. If I get an
Right.
opportunity, maybe I'll spend some money or I'll trade, and that's kind
Yeah.
of where my mindset is on some
Yep.
stuff. I don't, and that's sometimes why I'll get two or three of something. It's not for now, and it's not necessary to flip it. Although I store stuff and I flip some stuff. People know this.
Out of the box, that figure will be $100 plus,
Yeah, and people are going to throw away the game if they
right?
don't got the game
It's
system.
well,
This is what's
that's
horrible.
they'll sell the video game, right? Take the figure out
If
and
they're
sell the game,
smart,
right?
yeah.
But yeah, it's what is it, $69.99? I think is
Wouldn't
retail.
it be
Yeah, the
cool if they
retail
turn
part.
around and did something dumb like put a special unique serial number on the back of the figure so you had to keep the figure to play the game? Geez, I better
That's
not give
hilarious.
anyone hit. That would be evil.
That's
Jeez,
hilarious.
I don't know. Hey,
Yeah,
I grew
it'll
up in
be
the
over a
PC
hundred
days
bucks.
of video games where you had to keep the book,
Yeah,
and I remember some of the old Sierra games in the '80s and
right.
stuff. And not only did you have to keep the book, you couldn't photocopy it. Some of the pages were printed in non-photo blue. You tried to
Yes.
photocopy it, you couldn't do it. So you had to, if you knew where the keywords were, because usually was a keyword search. Page 3, second line, this word, and that was your passcode to get into the game. Proof
Yes.
of purchase. But we would make the master list of them, and that would get circulated, and you would just have that one sheet, and that's how we'd get into it. But I tell you, I mean, there's nothing stopping something like that. I mean, they could do it. I'd hate to see that happen, but someone will beat it.
We'll see. We'll see how close I am. Right. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
it's a $69.99 game. The figure will sell for around 100 to start, and it'll max out about 150.
you heard it
So
here, folks.
You heard it here first.
Okay, here's one from Mama Lego. Is it worth pre-ordering the Fox? Now, this is where I'm going to be ignorant. I don't know what she's talking about.
The
Is that
Fox.
Harry Potter stuff? I
Fox.
want to say it's Harry Potter stuff.
Why am I drawing a blank right now?
See, I don't know either.
Oh my goodness, that's horrible.
T-Mog,
It is. It
quick.
is Harry Potter, right?
It's got to be, right? As someone who's never sat through an entire HP movie, and I definitely haven't read the books either, and even my daughter didn't dig the books, so I don't even have that.
I'm drawing a complete blank on this set, and I usually don't do that. That's bothering me. It must be late.
Hey, Top Flight.
Do you have the set number?
No, she didn't post it.
That's what I mean. I'm asking now. If she's still there, if you have the set number, post it, please.
Hey, Eileen, do you have the set number for that? Mama Lego's one of my moderators. So Jonathan's asking, question for both of you. What's something you collect that's not Lego?
Just before we get to that one, as far as pre-orders go, pre-order something if you want it and don't mind the retail price.
Yeah.
If you don't want it right away, I have a tendency to stay if I'm buying something for myself, for my kids, birthday presents, stuff along those lines. I stay away from immediate release. I wait till it goes on sale because that's the way I was raised.
Well,
Some
it's, it's
people
just
just
it's just smart. I got on this
some
the
people
first
got to
day,
have it.
but I want it right away. I don't want to be thinking about it. But I don't do that for everything. There's
Some
some
people
I
have
will
got to
do.
have it. So go for it if you got to have it. But I tell
Yeah.
everybody just wait.
You
Right?
know,
If it goes out of stock, don't worry about it. It'll come back.
yeah.
Don't buy from the guys who wait till it goes out of stock and then they increase the price and then you're supposed to buy it, like the the whole botanical line, right?
Oh, I waited, and I'm glad I did.
The flowers and the bonsai tree and all that. It went out of stock. It came back. It's out of stock. It'll come back. It's not going away. Yeah, that looks
By the
great.
way, I
Yeah.
tell you, people think it's crazy. I still think this is one of the best sets in a long time.
That
And I
bonsai
was
tree is fantastic. I bought that for my wife. That's the very first Lego set that she ever built, and I couldn't believe. I want to build this. I want to build this.
yeah.
It's a great set. But yes, and then immediately, right? People are out there, oh, $100, and you hear everybody complaining about it. Oh, I can't believe these guys, these scalpers, and they're charging this. Well, you know what? Don't buy it. If you don't buy it, they'll bring the prices down, or they'll have to eat it for lunch because they'll have to sit on it until they don't have any money anymore. Just
And
don't buy it.
and a lot of these guys are using their credit cards to play this game. They can't afford to sit on it long because the interest.
True.
Chris has got another one, good one here. As a vendor, are you finding a different set of buyers coming to you in the past few years? Has the Lego demographic changed?
No, I don't think the demographic has changed. Lego has always spread itself well from children to, geez, I got one customer, he's 63. So I don't think it, I don't think the demographic has changed at all. Am I constantly getting new customers? Yes, because I'm constantly trying to get new customers. The only way to grow as a business is to get new customers. A lot of that is word of mouth. I haven't actively been advertising as much as I will be moving forward. Um, but yeah, as because this is what I do for a living, and I need to put food on the table and pay the mortgage and all that, I constantly have to have new people buying business. Eventually, if I only have a certain select few coming to buy from me, they're going to get everything that they need, and I won't be able to support my family. It doesn't mean that I neglect those people. Without people coming to buy from me on a consistent basis, I wouldn't have a business. So there has to be a spot for everybody. And it's a bit of a balancing act, but not in a bad way. I didn't know how to phrase that properly. It almost sounded like it was a bad thing. It wasn't meant to be. Once again, I think of this as a family, as a BTLG family, and I want to bring as many people into my family as possible so that we can all grow together. I know that sounds maybe a little bit cheesy, but I really do feel that.
Eileen came back with, yes, it's the Phoenix.
The Phoenix. I have seen the set. Cool looking set. Looks fantastic. Why I didn't clue in beyond me. Well, I go back to what I said. If it's something that you want, then pre-order. If not, wait for a sale.
Jonathan says the collector's edition of the game will be the one that has the minifigure in it, and that'll be $80.
Okay, so $79.99, right?
$79.99.
Okay, plus tax. So yeah, so it'll start at 100, maybe even a little bit more. I can't see it maxing out more than double the game price. So we'll go 160 maybe.
Look at this, Jonathan, wheeling and dealing in my chat. That's okay. That's okay. He's been my hookup for a long time. In fact, he's got something for me.
Anytime, Mr. Hudson, you are more than welcome to get in touch with me. We can talk.
My last trip around Ontario was hitting you and hitting him and hitting another guy and driving home. It was a great day. Everyone smiled that day. What else we got going here? Woo. And there's the actual set number there, 76394.
Thank you very much.
Oh boy, Ryan. Remember the Razor Crest? That's probably the first time I said that properly. Debacle over Christmas. People were gouging like crazy. In Toronto, the highest price was $260 for the Razor Crest. It was pretty
You
bad.
see it with everything. Second edition UCS Millennium Falcon came out, went out of stock. People were selling it for $1,500 up to $2,000. I was seeing people bidding on it for eBay for $2,500 for peace sake. Like that's just, it's coming back in stock. Like, just wait.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of how many. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. It was a good run.
Yeah.
It was bad. Yeah. It was pretty bad.
All people have to do is wait, right? That's all it is. You know, you can call the sellers who are doing this gougers. You can call them scalpers. You can call them opportunists. You can call them any name that you want. But what it boils down to, seriously, if you don't buy it, the prices will come down. So don't buy it. That's the best piece of advice I can give anybody.
I
see
use the
somebody
credit card.
doing that, don't buy.
I use the credit card, and if I couldn't move them, I would have been ruined.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Don't feed the beasts. And I say that being from the perspective that I was on that side for a while. Don't feed the beasts because they will go bankrupt. They will sell.
It really is that simple.
Yep.
right? Like it really is. If you think the prizes are outrageous, then don't pay them, right? Especially on a new release because it will come back, right? It will come back. Like they're not go. UCS Falcon now has been going on 4 years. There's still no talk of it retiring. That's almost unheard of, right? I imagine it'll be around probably for one more Christmas. It's going to come back yet again, even though it's out of stock. So, just and that's that one that's been out forever, right? These ones that have just come out, just wait, right? Just wait. Don't buy them on a buy and sell. Don't get them off of the inflated prices on Bricklink or anywhere else. Just wait. It'll come back in stock, and when it does, you can buy one.
Well, you definitely got a fan here, Brad. Trevor, I have bought from Brad several times. This dude is honest, and I always go back to him until the day I stop collecting Lego, and that will be never.
Thanks a lot, Trevor. I really appreciate it. Trevor's a great guy. Um,
Hey, Cap.
I miss seeing these people
Jordan.
at the shows, right? I miss seeing Trevor. I miss seeing other folks as well at the shows. Um, it's not the same. Like it's really not. I
No.
can't wait till it gets going again. Um, but the loyalty that these people have shown, I almost went bankrupt. I don't know if you know. I don't know if I told you this.
I don't think so.
When everything hit, you have to remember that probably 85%, close to 90% of my business model was not only going to shows, but starting my own show and running it.
Yeah.
I was that close, right within inches of being done. It was extremely difficult, and I had to flip things on a dime really fast, and I had to make a turnaround really quick, or I was done. And people like Trevor, I could name you a list, right? Um, the Jack, Caleb, um, I know every single one of them, and they're going to get mad because I haven't mentioned their names. But my goodness, you know who you are, right? And uh, the list just goes. It's so deep of everyone. Steve, it just keeps going on. Ashley, it goes on and on and on of people who supported me through the hardest of times when other people abandoned me. So that meant so much. Like they have no idea. I don't know if they'll ever know. And that type of loyalty, I try to give back in spades. It's the way I was raised, right? It's what you do. I don't understand. I don't understand people who are not who don't show that type of loyalty. I don't understand people who are not honest and are deceitful with people. I can't comprehend it. It doesn't click. It doesn't compute. So I've said it before when I to their faces, but I'll say it again. To everyone who helped me through the hardest time. I owe you a debt I don't think I'll ever be able to repay. So thank you a lot.
Wow. It's good to have the loyalty of good friends and good customers and and family. I'm sure some family helped out. And
It's not just customers, right? They've become more than that. I've always wanted it to be more than that. I've wanted to get to know them, get to know what makes them happy, what makes them sad, to try and start a little friendship, perhaps. Something that's a little bit more and beyond. Um, it's the way I've always tried to operate. This isn't just some business. I think there's enough of those.
yeah, I think Rocky sums it up pretty good.
Yeah, he does.
Make friends, be nice and fair, and customers will return. Absolutely.
I always babble on. He makes it nice and short and like, yeah.
And Ryan's just pointing out the cap to Jordan. Yeah, you missed it, but he's on the web. He's on
You guys can go and
Bricklink.
check out. You can go and check out BTLGbricks.ca right now. You can do everything except for checkout. So if you see something you like, just get a hold of me. You can go through all the process, do all the searches. If you notice anything that you don't like or anything that might be wrong or made a mistake on, let me know. Right, this website is for you as much as it is for me. So, if you like the layout, let me know. If you don't like the layout, let me know that too. There might be some things I can change. I tried to keep it as
run, hurry up.
Tried to keep it as simple and as user friendly as possible. Right, no flashy bells and whistles, no tricks to make you want to. Oh, looky here! Oh, it's so special, make them buy me. No, right? Just come there, right?
This is the way. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that a lot of people don't practice it.
Hey, Corey. Where you been, brother? A&A Hobbies. So, we're gonna humor Kep on this one. Yeah, he does.
I don't know.
The Brad Castle, the BTLG Castle. If you drive to Paris, Ontario, you'll see Brad's Castle.
You'll
keep driving till you see it.
I forgot about this. That I actually had this, right? It was bought for me. This might be the first Lego set that I ever owned, right? And that's this one here.
Oh.
Right? And that's the first lunar lander. That's from 1976.
Now, where's the
and it still shines.
Wasn't there a brick built figure?
Or certainly is. There was 3 that came with it. I'll get just bear with me for a second.
Yep.
It's over here.
Rocky, I'll put you up.
Okay, so now this for all you youngins out there, you're gonna enjoy this, right? So came with the moon flag, of course.
Wow, look at that!
Right, so that's
beautiful.
Yeah, it's 1976. So that's I couldn't believe that it was. I found one this good. I almost wish it was mine from the beginning, but it's not. So your minifigures, okay, were not actual minifigures. They did not exist. So what you had to do is you had to build your figure. So what your figure ended up looking like was something like this.
Yes.
Okay, so you actually had to build the figure.
Yeah.
Right. Well, nice little plate there for the feet sticking out. Right. They had 3 heads that came with the set. There was a male, a female, and a child. All came with it. That one didn't have the sticker on the torso, but I do have the American flag stickers for the torso. That's a torso where the arms extend on. So this is that was head. If you wanted them in spaceman suit, you had to actually build.
See, that's what I was thinking of.
Right, you had to build the spaceman suit around them. Okay, so I remember my son, I think, looked at this. Maybe it was my daughter. It was like, why is he holding a hair dryer?
Yep.
I thought that was pretty funny.
That was one of my favorite parts, especially in Classic Space. That gray piece, I love that piece.
Here's the Lunar Car, and you can see you actually had to build the figure inside the car. So that's actually built onto the seat of the car there.
Is that antenna era original?
It is. Yep.
Wow. And it's in white? It's in white.
It's sort of a milky, transparent kind of color.
Okay.
It's not a full transparent color, but it's not a white. It's sort of a milky thing. This was the precursor to the gray ones they made for the space.
Yeah. Wow.
And there you can see with the flag on the front. So, hanging on to the gear shift there.
That is something else.
So there you go, right? Unreal. So that'll bring back some memories. 1976, guys. So yeah, so I'm old.
Well, Rocky's going to try and make it out here once things change. You
Oh,
won't.
nice.
You won't be able to do it as of 2 hours from now because we're closing the borders to Ontario on both sides.
I've only met
But
Rocky
not the
once.
airport. But not the airports, though. Nope, nope, not the airports. We're
I
not
got a
closing
I
the
got a
airport.
chance I got a chance to meet Rocky once. Once again, it was at a show. Fantastic guy, right? So got nothing but good things to say about him.
Eileen, what day did you get married? What part of this conversation am I missing?
That someday in 1976. Am I guessing right? Probably no.
Rocky doesn't like your set. He thinks it's fugly. I'd kill for it.
Of course, it's ugly.
I'd gladly give up one of these, especially with it being Air original parts, because that's another thing. Like, drives me crazy. Sometimes if you got no choice, I get it. As long as it's declared, parts are swapped, I get it. But if I want Air specific, that's what I want. Air 1976, Eileen says.
Yeah, they certainly were back then. You got to remember that's all they had, just bricks and plates. That's it. Right? There was no specialty pieces. That was just the introduction of some of them.
And that's the way we would have built them too. I tell you
Yeah.
though, you pulling out the figures with the arms. I tell you, I don't know anyone who didn't do what I did, which was you would take all the arms you had and you made this long, flexible thing, ridiculously, and then you would take those heads and you would rotate it on the ears,
Yes, for
which is
sure.
why the prints are half gone because the head was scratching them out.
Absolutely.
I mean, when people see those figures, they don't realize that those were some of our early minifigures, or even the ones that had no arms that predated our modern day minifigure. The ones that just
Yes.
had that weird shaped bottom piece, no legs, of course, and then that
Yes.
molded top with the arms,
Yeah, I
molded
got
into
a
the
couple of
shape.
those. I got a
And
couple of at the hospital and the doctors, I think.
I
Right,
tell,
doctors, or maybe one doctor, one nurse. They're in the store anyway.
but they
So
only did that for like a year or two, right? And then
yeah,
they
that
went
was
right
the
to
actual precursor to the minifigure.
yeah.
Right, that's sort of their test mold, and then got a whole bunch of feedback about arms and all that, and it was already in development. So
No, I'm glad too, because I mean, I remember taking those other figures, and you would just take the legs and take the torso, and then to stagger it to make it look like it was sitting on something. It's like all the things we used to do. Yeah, he's still complaining it was fugly.
they are. They're absolutely ugly. There's Lego doesn't always make pretty things for sure, and you're right, they certainly are. But it brings back a nostalgic memory. That's all.
Oh, I feel like I missed somebody's question that I was holding on to, and now I feel bad.
Might have.
Jonathan says, "Yeah, fear of missing out. Yeah, that you know what? It's horrible in this scene, and it drives a lot of my purchases for sure. I know it drives a lot of this scene. You know, the whole mentality of gotta have it today, gotta have it today. I mean,
Mhm.
sometimes it's just time. I put a lot of value on my time, and sometimes it's just easier for me to get it now. But
Mhm.
then there's stuff I don't want right now, and I will wait for that better deal because it's
Yeah.
coming.
You don't even have to wait for a better deal if one isn't coming. You just don't have to go nuts and buy it day one. And definitely don't buy it from a scalper, right? Just don't.
Yeah. Hmm. Did I get your question, John, or is there another one I missed? Just scrolling up as far as this will let me. I don't know, man. We covered a lot of ground tonight.
We did. It was a great time. I love being here.
Yeah.
You have to bring a couple of the other guys on next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll build with you guys one night.
That sounds like a plan. Let's see. Hang
Yeah.
on a second.
Sure.
Okay. Christoph, if you're flipping sets, would you focus on big, medium, or small sets? And what are your criteria? I got a different answer than Brad probably does. I build a lot of time based on what I have space to put on display. And I pretty much don't have space anymore. I crammed 200 sets into one cabinet. I crammed 100 into another. And I took apart my biggest UCS sets because, as nice as they were, they ate up a lot of space. And guess what? I could build, even my wife's stuff. I mean, she's got 50 sets in the one part of this one cabinet and four smaller sets up here. It's so a lot of my builds are, you know what? I don't have a lot of time to commit. I'll build something smaller, even though I like showing off the big sets behind me. I am getting to a point where I can start building some of the bigger ones again. But I like to hear what you think, Brad. But when you do build, what are you building?
Well, now is he talking about building or is he talking about building one to sell?
Well, flipping sets. I went with building
Right.
because I
Well, if
kind of
I'm
misread that in my head.
no, it's okay. So, because I can answer both. If I'm building, I prefer micro build. Right, that's just what I like to build. I also like building aviation, so anything that has to do with plane wise. They're not here. They're in the other room. I've got an F-14 that I've done. I still have the Sonic Boom set. Right, I'm probably going to keep that. That's a Eurofighter, even though Lego doesn't make military. Yeah, sure they don't.
We could write a book on the military sets.
Yeah, we sure could. Soft with Camel, Red Baron.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, going back that far, I've got the Camel out there too. What a brilliant set. Anyway, I'm getting off topic.
For sale now on BTLG.
Yeah, so for me personally, I like building in micro scale. I like the idea of getting as much detail as much small into as small of a build as I possibly can. There's just I don't know. Plus, it's a space thing, right? I just don't have space to display huge sets, so I don't. Now for flipping, um, this answer may surprise you, and it's a lot more simpler than people people tend to overcomplicate something along these lines. Um, know your market, sell what they want. If your market wants small sets, sell small sets. If your market wants medium sets, sell medium. If they want big, sell big. Know your market. That's the most important thing. Get what they want, not what you think is good. That was one of the biggest hurdles when I was first starting to get over. It's like, oh, that's a cool set, right? Nobody's buying it, but it's a cool set, but nobody's buying it. Why are they buying this? My best-selling minifigure is the Butterfly Girl.
Really?
Who would have thunk? But I've sold more of her than, jeez.
Well,
Yeah,
we haven't. I was about to say we haven't frozen, guys. I'm waiting for someone to say, has the stream frozen? No, we haven't froze.
I like to choose my words carefully sometimes. I don't like to just ramble on. Anyway, I've sold more of. I bet you I've sold probably a little over 100 of her, maybe more,
Wow.
just in the last little while. I'd have to go back and check. I was trying to think of how many of her I've sold total. I know it's in the hundreds, and I never would have thought. Right, so that's what you need to do. Right, just find your market, figure out what they want. So you're going to have to start with a whole inventory of different themes and find out what sells, what doesn't sell, trade it for what does sell, and buy more of what sells.
It sounds like it's business 101. I mean,
It does, but you'd be surprised on how complicated people make it, or how a lot of people don't pay attention to the simple things.
find a market, find what the customer wants, and deliver.
It
It,
took me a
it
long time to focus in on what people want. It's not something that happens just like that either. Like, this was part of my first 5 year business plan was trying to figure that out. And by the end of year five, I was pretty good at it. So it's not something that happens, overnight.
so Jonathan came back, and this is probably the one that we missed out earlier. What is
Could be,
something that we both collect, or that we collect that isn't
right?
brick related?
That isn't brick related.
Oh, yeah. I don't. Not anymore. This is it. I from when I was a kid, it was the Star Wars, the Hot Wheels, the GI Joes, the Transformer toys. Soon, I outgrew it, and then it was comic books and trading cards,
Right.
and then you know, the big bad thing happened in '95 or '97, and I stopped doing the comics and just grew up, and that was the end of it for me, anyway.
Yeah.
And then Lego, and then it took all this time to come back to Lego.
Lego, obviously, I collect. That's mine. But the thing besides Lego is books. I have pretty much a library here of books.
I
Once
tell
again,
you,
my
which is
my
awesome
wife
considering the world of isolation. It's like that's going to be gold. I mean,
my
yeah.
my wife is an extremely tolerant person. I have books everywhere,
Oh, wow.
upstairs, downstairs, in that room, over in this room,
Okay,
and
I feel
so
bad. Okay, I can reach a book this fast. By the way, Nora Roberts, not my, well, the
Nora
toilet
Roberts, huh?
the toilet paper of literacy, and do you know what it's for? I got no. This is for my wife's stuff, by the way. Not that hey, anyone can read this stuff, boys, girls, whatever.
Use it
But
in
you
place of a mouse pad to keep your wrist.
no, it's to put under the laptop to keep it raised so that the vents on the bottom of the laptop are raised off the
Nice.
table.
Oh,
Because
beautiful.
this much, raising the laptop this much off of any
Yeah.
surface so the vents can breathe and blow out properly
Yeah.
makes a big difference.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
yeah.
Yeah,
Two,
last I counted, just over 500 books. So.
I mean, I know I can pull down another book, but it's not going to make me look any better. So I'm not going to pull it down. And that one is mine. So, all
Yeah,
right.
and
So
that's it.
books and Lego. And I can't even claim books.
And books about Lego and books with Lego minifigures.
Oh,
Yes.
I do. Okay, I do. I buy every book I can on Lego,
There you go.
including a horrible one about the color of. This is the most boring read ever. I'm going to pull this down. This is something else. Where is this book? It's got to be there. Got to be there. Oh, come on. Tell me I can't find it. And I can't find it. Anyway, it's the color guide to Lego. Some
Right.
doctor wrote it. I got third or fourth edition. It is a snore fest. I don't even know why I bought it. It's just so I can
Just
say
cause.
I'm a Lego guy and I got this stupid book I
Yeah.
used to put in the background. The color guide to Lego, and it's fascinating. But
Display nice on your stream.
well, the thing is, you can't reproduce all the colors 100% faithfully on a
Yeah.
mass-produced printed book.
Right.
Yeah, it was horrible. Um, 20 bucks well spent on Amazon. I think I had a coupon, but yeah, I wish I could use that as an excuse. It's still a horrible book. Okay, Chris is asking, Brad, what set are you looking forward to? One set.
One set that I'm looking forward
One
to.
set.
That's good. Um. Well, it hasn't been approved yet. It has reached the 10,000. If it does get approved, and this is what I'm hoping for and pushing for, okay, and that's the Princess Bride set. I
Oh.
can't tell you how excited I am about that. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Actually, I'm kind of jealous that somebody else thought of it and has made it. I can't wait. That's in like my top 5 movies of all time. I can
Is it a
probably
sign of
recite
our
it.
age where
Could be.
it's nostalgia sets are
I
what's
love that.
tickling us so much? I
I
mean,
watch that movie like at least once a year. I could probably recite it from start to finish. I love it. What can I say?
Josh is asking, what's out of your mocks, which one do you like best? Well,
Oh,
I've only got a few mocks I've ever done, and YouTube videos for all of them. So you can go check out my YouTube videos. Search for mock under my name, under All Bricks Count, and it's my big tie walker. But Brad, what's your
what a
favorite
tough
mock?
question. Oh my goodness. I honestly don't know. I don't know if I can answer that question. That's hard.
They're all your babies.
Everything
It's hard to choose your favorite.
everything I build, I build it for a reason at the time. Everything from the smallest to the biggest. I don't know if I like any one better than another. I usually leave that for other people. Right? They can tell me what they like the best. I know that's not really a very good answer, but I don't know.
All
I really
right.
don't
Hey,
know. It's a
it's
hard
honest.
question. Good question. Hard question.
Ryan says group build would be fun to do one of these weekends. Well, you know
Yeah.
what? Not every Friday is a new bricks this week because I'm not buying new bricks every week. But you should be at BTLG Bricks.ca,
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
Bricklink. Oh yeah. Hey, I took radio broadcasting once. Um, if yeah, I tell you, man, if Much Music would have hired me, wow, where would my
Much
life?
music. Oh,
Yeah, where would
they're
my
still
life have been?
around. Hey,
Kind of.
kind of.
They're owned by Bell Media now, and it's
Who was it? Erica M.
Moses.
Right?
Oh, Erica M was on it.
Yes.
Back in the days when Moses Znamer
Yes.
owned.
Zanaya.
Yeah,
Right.
he had a bunch of stuff. I tell
Yeah.
you, what a different era. You used to put $2. Actually, it was even $1. Speaker's Corner.
Mhm.
You'd go down to that dirty corner. You clean off that seat because it was always disgusting, and you had 2 minutes in front of a camera, and it was a
Well,
good
you know, it's
chance.
it's it's how the
They
bare
would
naked
they
ladies got their start, right?
Yeah,
Right.
on
They went down to
Saturdays they
Speaker's
ran
Corner.
that show on the weekend, and sometimes on other segments, and there was a good chance you would get on the air. It was great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rick and Brad. Very nice to see and hear you. Great answers. Looking forward to the next interview. Have a fantastic weekend. Okay, you take care,
You too,
Christopher.
Christoph. Thanks a lot. Really
Christoph,
appreciate the
sorry.
questions. Right. Hope to hear from you soon.
Oh, yeah, Ryan, Black Series. He's got his hand up. Yeah, I tell you, I avoid that. They're so nice, those figures, the Black Series Hasbro figures, Star Wars.
The actual
Oh,
figurines.
yeah, they're really
Yes.
nice.
Yeah, not Lego. The actual figures, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember Star Wars. Dating myself again, and I always see it or see a few of them at the shows. It was a Darth Vader bust, right, like this, and
The
it
shell,
opened up.
the display case. Oh, not
Had
display case,
slots
carry
inside for
case.
the figures,
Yep.
and each slot was labeled
Yeah.
with the figure's name.
Yeah.
And of
Stickers
course, you
though,
wanted to collect them
stickers.
all. Yeah,
Those
you wanted to
stickers.
collect them all. So
Now I
yeah,
had that one. I had the briefcase style ones. I had two trays in it, and
oh,
you put
nice.
all the stickers in there. Yep. No, good times. Jonathan had that trashy book I was talking about with the colors. Put it back. He was smarter than me. Hey, Master Microwave. Okay, Rocky left us. He's gonna watch TV with
Thanks a lot,
wife.
Rocky.
Rock, you gotta
Say hi
come
to the
back
family for
on.
me.
I will chase you down. We will bring you on screen. It will happen. I got Brad on. I'm working on everyone slowly. Trevor loved that movie too. Oh yeah, Andre the Giant. He should have got an Oscar for his acting.
Accent was so thick, eh? His French accent. Oh my goodness, but so
Yeah.
funny,
Can you
right?
imagine directing him?
CD. I
I
want
met him.
everybody to have
So
harm. He really lacks a lot of charm.
I met him
You have a
in
great gift for rhyme. Yeah, some of the time.
1982
No
when
more rhymes now. I mean it. Anybody
my
want a
dad took
peanut?
me to the gardens, and we had the first row reds right above the entrance. I tell this story all the time. Maybe not the Andre story, but yeah, he was messing around with the Iron Sheik that night, and Classy Freddie Blassie was the manager for the Iron Sheik. And I can't remember if anyone was helping out Andre, and then Bobby Heenan came out to mess around with Andre, and it was a farce. But I got to meet Andre that night and shake his hand, and I'm trying to. So that would have been,
Hand
I
was
don't
bigger than
know,
your head. Don't you mean he like
well,
shook your body?
8-year-old me, or 9-year-old me, and he put his hand over my hand. I had no hand.
Yes.
It was like something else. Eileen, nostalgia is why I want the Looney Tunes.
Absolutely.
Yes, I'm so happy. I just made an arrangement with
Yeah.
this young fellow to get them.
Nice.
Got the Boba Fett prototype helmet from the Black Series. Trying not to get more. I tell you, I don't know how expensive those helmets are, but so many people have these helmets. It's like, I don't know. I don't want to buy one because if I buy one, I know I'm in trouble.
They're like Pringles. Once you pop, you just can't stop.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, this has been a lot of fun.
Really has.
I'm glad we did this. We put this off for too long, and now that we popped your cherry, we can, and you see how easy it is. We can get you onto streams, talking, building, chatting, whatever, chilling.
I'm just
Sometimes,
happy I didn't break the screen. I told you I got a great face for radio.
yeah. Well, you do. Hey, you always have that option. You can
Just come in on audio.
I was going to say I could bump your. Why can't I do it now? I'll figure it out later. There's a way to just make you the talking icon on the screen. For when you don't want, talking. Oh, it's ball basically your avatar. But now that you're on, and we'll get you learned on how you can host some of these yourself too. So
Absolutely.
because that's the next.
Everybody who came and asked the questions, thank you very much. Right, really appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, this would not have been the same show without your questions. That's for sure.
Right. So, you guys really appreciate you coming on, helping support us. Hope a few people learned a little bit more about me. And anytime you have any questions, drop me a line. Right. And hey, if you want to buy something, BTLGbricks.ca right there. See, I'm a terrible promoter. Right.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and catch me tomorrow, 10 a.m. if I'm awake on Brick Adjuster. You can find him on YouTube, and Brad, of course, you can find him at BTLGbricks.ca. Message him for anything you see there that you're not seeing on his Bricklink site. And you can also catch him on Facebook at Brad the Lego Guy.
Because 80 to 90% of my stock is retired product, a good portion of my time has just been sourcing. So if there's something you're looking for you don't see, let me know.
Expert vintage sourcer here, folks. All right.
All right. Thanks again, Richard. I really appreciate you having me on. Like I really do. All right.
Virtual handshake. Where are we going? There we go. Virtual handshake.
Hey.
All right.
That's one of the more ridiculous things I've ever done. Thank you.
Wait till we get more people and we pass the ball around. All right. Peace, everyone.
Take care, guys. Good night.